We've reconnected with Susan Fleming in Taylor Mill. Susan?
Fat Man, I'm sure our listeners are having trouble believing this report. I'm having trouble believing it myself. Some kind of terrible creature fired a bright beam and destroyed several vehicles. I don't know if anyone has been injured, but this is terrible. Mr. Wilson, what is happening now?
There are three large contraptions moving away from the craft. They look like giant pots on three, stilts or metal poles. The giant pots have glass domes on top. They have to be 3 stories tall. Each one has one of those beasts inside.
We are also joined by Major Henry Jackson of the Kentucky National Guard, who has just arrived on the scene. What's the situation, Major?
Well, I want everyone to know that we have the situation completely under control. We have the perimeter secured, and armor is about to arrive.
Fat Man, this is probably the most amazing story in 2,000 years. I plan to give you regular reports live from the scene here in Taylor Mill.
Thanks, Susan. Just promise me you will stay safe.
You can count on it, Fat Man. This is Susan Fleming reporting live from Taylor Mill.
Folks, this is incredible news. We'll continue to play music for now, but we will cut in as more reports become available. Well, we will cut in now for this live report from Kentucky's governor.
Good evening, friends. Please know that the Kentucky National Guard has been mobilized to meet this unprecedented threat and have matters well in hand. I ask you to join me in prayer for our brave guardsmen and first responders as they deal with what is proving to be an unprovoked, hostile attack from what appears to be invaders from space. I pledge to keep you advised as this situation unfolds and is resolved.
We have Susan Fleming with us again. Susan, we have reports of objects landing all over the world. Has the National Guard dealt with the situation in Taylor Mill?
Fat Man, I can't do anything but report the truth. What I witnessed appeared to be a complete rout of our forces. Major Jackson, what is your assessment?
Susan, it hasn't gone well so far. The enemy has effectively used its heat rays to knock out our armor. They have also unleashed what appears to be some kind of cloud of poisonous gas that has driven our infantry in full retreat. We've repositioned our forces approximately 10 miles from the original landing site, and we'll regroup and we'll contain the enemy there.
Fat Man, I'm also joined by Dr. Kane. Professor, what are we dealing with?
Susan, this is a grave situation. The alien, dare I say, Martian technology has completely overwhelmed every weapon we have confronted them with so far. It appears that their machines are headed for the Ohio River and the airport.
Why the airport, Professor?
There continue to be flashes on the surface of Mars. My concern is that the attackers plan to secure our airport and airports around the world to serve as landing zones for their reinforcements.
Fat Man, I'm now joined by Carl Morris, spokesman for the Greater Cincinnati Airport. Carl, what is the situation at CVG?
Well, Susan, the airport has been completely evacuated. No flights of any kind, with the exception of military aircraft, are coming in and out.
Does the military plan to defend the airport from alien capture?
Susan, may I interrupt?
Go ahead, Fat Man.
I hate to ask this, but are any of the officials you're talking to telling you that they are concerned that the little green guys are monitoring this and other radio broadcasts? If they are, we may be showing our cards to them.
Fat Man, that is an excellent question. I'll send it back to the studio so I can talk to the military officials on site about this.
Thanks, Susan. In the meantime, I think we'll turn tonight's program into a talk show. Give me a call here at 555-BEAR with any updates you might have, or if you just want to talk about tonight's absolutely unbelievable events. Again, that number is 555-BEAR. That's 555-2327. We have Ed from Erlanger on the line. What's going on, Ed?
Fat Man, this is frightening. The power's out of my neighborhood, and I can actually see the alien vehicles moving down my street.
Are you in a safe place, Ed?
I think so. I'm home alone and watching out my basement window. Wait a minute. It looks like...
Ed? Well, I'm sure the phone just went dead. I'm sure Ed's fine. Now we have a call from Sandy out near the airport.
Fat Man, my husband and I are terrified. We can hear machine gun and cannon fire coming from the airport. There's also a high-pitched sound of some kind. You can probably hear the sirens going off, too.
I sure can, Sandy. Are you and your husband in a safe place?
We're in our basement, Fat Man. Wait a minute. My husband tells me there's some kind of black fog in our backyard.
We heard reports of that from Taylor Mill. Are your windows closed, Sandy? Sandy? Well, we now have a live report from Susan Fleming, who's at the Greater Cincinnati Airport. Go ahead, Susan.
Yes, Fat Man. I'm here at Terminal 3. It is a scene that harkens back to great battles of the past like Bunker Hill or the Alamo. Kentucky National Guard troops are engaged in a pitched battle with the Martian war machines. For the first time since I began reporting this story to you a few hours ago, the Martians are actually showing some signs that they aren't invincible. Why, one machine tried to cross a minefield that had been hastily prepared and was disabled. Withering tank fire then destroyed the machine. Horse and Cane is with me. Professor, your reaction?
Several objects have been circulating around the airport for about 30 minutes. I believe there may be more alien craft just waiting to land.
Major Jackson of the Kentucky National Guard now joins me.
Our defense seems to be holding them for now, Susan. The Air National Guard's F-16, armed with satellite-killing missiles, are also preparing to engage the craft circling the field.
This is all for now, Fat Man. I can see our jets preparing to launch their missiles. The missiles will be heading towards space at an incredible rate of speed. I'll report back with an update in about 5 minutes.
We actually have an audio link to the F-16s preparing to launch satellite-killing missiles at the Martian saucers circling CVG. Let's listen in live.
This is Striker 1 to Striker Flight. Armed missiles.
This is Striker 2, leader. All birds have tone and lock on targets. All we need is the word.
Let's smoke these green guys.
Ready to fire, sir.
Okay, gentlemen. Launch missiles. Striker 1 to base. Missiles away and headed toward target. We hit home base. Alien craft are exploding several miles above us.
Striker 2 to flight. Looks like a couple of bogies survived and are headed this way.
Order Striker 1.
We made a dent in the Martians' plan, gentlemen. Striker leader to Striker Flight. Jump on your afterburners, and let's hightail it out of here. Striker leader to base. 4 alien craft destroyed.
We have a live report from Susan Fleming at the airport.
Fat Man, it looks like our F-16s had a lot of success. At least 2 enemy craft survived, however. I'll have to get back to you in a moment.
Thanks, Susan. I have to tell you, folks, that this is not the shift I was expecting when I came to work tonight. We now have a call from Greg in Latonia.
This is unbelievable, Fat Man.
That it is, Greg.
There are Martian tripods moving down Madison Pike. The laser beams, whatever they are setting anything that moves on fire. My landline phone and electricity are gone. Can you hear all that noise? The high-pitched whine seems to be caused by the laser beams.
Are you in a safe spot, Greg?
Well, I guess so. I've heard the Martians are using some kind of poisonous gas. Is that right, Fat Man?
Yeah, we did get some reports of that. Keep your house all sealed up.
Well, it seems like they've moved past me. Well, I'm going to stay put, though.
Yeah, stay safe.